Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Anions and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the insane max cash glitch that happened today. If you for some reason have no idea what I'm talking about, take a look at this Old School RuneScape Twitch streamer that goes by the name Perp. He caned someone for max cash.
I reckon we'll kill him wherever he is. Yes! What?
His reaction is amazing. I would have been doing the same thing. That never happens. You never PK someone for max cash. So for that to happen and get it on stream, that's amazing. But what he didn't know is that it was a glitch, and thankfully Jagex has fixed the problem since then. They have rolled everyone back, and you know, it could have been really bad. That could have seriously hurt the economy of Old School RuneScape, like detrimentally. Like it could have just ended Old School RuneScape. It would have been very bad. Can you imagine all that money entering the game at once like that? The economy would have been ruined in overnight. So first thing, what I'm going to be talking about is what the update was supposed to consist of. It was definitely not supposed to consist of everyone receiving max cash. What was supposed to happen was that pickpocketing, especially the Arty Knights, it was getting nerfed. Okay, so there was like new rewards for pickpocketing. So what they posted on the news post was that pickpocketing some NPCs around Gillinor will now yield coin pouches instead of coins. These are stackable up to a stack of 28. Upon reaching 28 pouches in the stack, you'll find that the NPC which yielded the pouches can no longer be pickpocketed until they have been opened. There is an open all option which allows for all the pouches of a particular type to be opened at once. So basically what that is supposed to do is make Arty Knights less OP towards thieving. Not only that, it was a big problem for botting for Jagex. People were doing a lot of auto clicking at the Arty Knights because you just sit there literally all day and all night just clicking, gaining XP and getting money. And they've been talking about doing this for a long time. The community actually wanted Arty Knights to get nerfed, so it's good that they finally did it. So here's a list of the NPCs that always yield coin pouches instead of coins: citizens, farmers, warriors and warrior women, guards, Fremniks, Arty Knights, and paladins. Menophyte thugs who have been knocked out will not give a coin pouch and will continue to yield coins as they currently do now. Now here's a list of NPCs that have a chance to yield a coin pouch: ham members, rogues, cave goblins, bandits in the Caridian Desert, watchmen, gnomes, heroes, and elves. NPCs that currently yield a random number of coins will still be awarded that amount of coins when opening the coin pouch. Now here's how this update affects blackjacking. Menophyte thugs, bearded Polnivian bandits, and Polnivian bandits will all yield coin pouches when pickpocketed without having been knocked out. When they've been knocked out, they'll yield coins just as they did prior to the update. When pickpocketing with the rogue's outfit, you'll receive a coin pouch, and separately you'll receive coins, rather than doubling the number of coins in the pouch or 2 coin pouches. Now let's get into the juicy stuff, the glitch. How did this happen? Why did it happen? Who messed up? Now all this information from the whole entire video is taken straight from the news post. So it says, one of the team was implementing the code for the pickpocketing update. This involved producing stackable pouches that are treated as being coins. On death, the aim was to convert them into real coins, partly so that a PKer could get the value if applicable. So basically what they're saying is, for example, if you're PKing someone in the wilderness and they have a fire cape and they die and they lose the fire cape, since that fire cape is not physically tradable, you have to actually kill Jad yourself to receive a fire cape. The fire cape will turn into coins upon death. That way you can get a reward from that PK. When converting a stack of items into a stack of coins, it's appropriate to check that the calculation doesn't overflow the max integer limit of the game's language, 2.1 billion. Unfortunately, the logic used for this calculation was incorrect, and when executed on stacks of other items, not the pouch itself, the result was to convert the stack into 2.1 billion coins. That is seriously insane, dude. Like, could you imagine being that person who accidentally messed that up and like caused this whole RuneScape world crisis for like 20 minutes? It's insane, man. But here is how they fixed it. The intention of the team was to attempt to roll back players' saved games to the approximate time of the game update, 11:30 BST. You know, I feel like that's probably the only way they could have really fixed this problem. And we're lucky that it only went on for about 10, 15, 20 minutes and not days. Could you imagine that if it went on for days, how just it would be chaos in RuneScape? It would be bad. Like, it would be really bad. So thankfully, Jagex quickly reacted, and it took them only about 5 hours, I believe, to fix the problem, when I probably would have thought it would have taken much longer than that. But they were quick thinking, quick acting, and got the problem solved in 5 to 6 hours. So this is RuneScape's first ever rollback that they've ever done, and they also stated this in the news post. We've never done anything like this before. It's possible some issues may still persist, but we assure you that we'll continue monitoring the situation to ensure that the normal service is resumed. The vast majority of normal players are now able to return to normal play, but a small majority of players may be affected by an issue attributed to their save files, which will prevent them from logging in. Whilst this can be readily resolved, unfortunately it must be fixed manually. The positive news news is that we are automatically made aware of who is affected with each unsuccessful login attempt. If you find yourself unable to log in because of the issue, we ask you that you remain patient and will restore your access to the game as soon as we are able. With this glitch that happened, there's gonna be some bad eggs that are gonna abuse it. So here's what they have to say to those people. It became apparent that a number of players were quick to exploit it for personal gain. In such cases, as players using the exploit to generate wealth to buy bonds or redeem for Old School RuneScape membership. With this in mind, we will be removing the illegitimately gained membership which was received via bond redemption during the time the bug was live. Players who abuse the bug will also see action taken against their accounts and will temporarily be removed from the game. So if you decide to abuse the bug while it was live, see ya, you are temporarily banned. Now, although we had a hectic day here on RuneScape, there was actually some good that came out of this. These are some of the other updates that they have released. Grotesque Guardians. Both Dusk and Dawn have had their health reduced from 600 to 450. Additionally, you can now purchase the unlock Double Trouble. Slaying Dusk and Dawn now counts for 2 kills towards your task rather than 1. Seaweed Spores. The amount of seaweed spores dropped by the creatures on Fossil Island have received a notable buff. Ancient Wyverns will now drop up to a maximum of 24, and it was previously 12. Fossil Wyverns will now drop up to a maximum of 12, which was previously 6. Lobstrosities will now drop up to a maximum of 5, which was previously 1, and Ammonite Crabs will drop up to a maximum of 2, and that was also previously 1. In addition, Seaweed Spores now have a chance to randomly appear when you are diving in the shallow water off Fossil Island. Cactus Spine Yield. Players harvesting cactus spines will now find that the harvesting works in a similar way to herbs, where the farming level reduces the chance of using up one of the lives of the patch. At level 55, there is a 75% chance of using one of those lives with each pick, versus a 30% chance at level 99. You'll always receive a minimum of 3 spines. How old is your cat? Kittens now have a dialogue option to help inform owners of the age of their kitten. Traveling via spirit trees. The option to travel now replaces the Talk To option on spirit trees. These changes will appear only for players who have completed the Tree Gnome Village quest. Note that access to the spirit tree within the Gnome Stronghold requires access of the Grand Tree, just like it always has done. Pet Rocks. Ask Aladdin now has a right-click option which allows you to claim multiple pet rocks before completion of the Fremenic Trials. Werewolf Agility buff. The Werewolf Agility course in Canifis now rewards players with twice the number of XP when handing in the stick. This sees the increase in Agility XP rise from 190 to 380. Picking Zygomites. Both Zygomites and Ancient Zygomites have had their pick delay reduced. The Drum Staff. The Drum Staff now has a unique model to differentiate it from the regular battle staff. Honestly, I really like the way the Drum Staff looks now. Catacombs of Korend. The option to investigate the statue leading to the Catacombs of Korend now replaces read as the left click option. This is to allow for easier access. Now for all those Android users out there who are on mobile, here's some updates. The login flow for existing players has been streamlined. Be sure to update Old School RuneScape. When searching for items in the bank, the chat box will now also display a count of how many times have been found meeting the search criteria. This is especially helpful to players on mobile who are unable to see much of the bank due to the amount of screen covered by the keyboard. After tapping the battery indicator to display your current charge percentage, you can now tap it again to dismiss it. Quick prayers can now be activated whilst the world map is minimized. Some issues with overlapping interfaces on Tutorial Island have been addressed. The logout menu now contains a link to our support center. This is for platform compliance reasons. You are now able to tap anywhere within the chat box to continue dialogue with NPCs. The tap to continue messaging provided quite annoying to navigate. In other news, bookcases in your player-owned house now use a menu interface to display books, rather than displaying them in the chat box. This change is unpulled, but born through necessity. As the player-owned house bookcase code got longer and longer due to the increased number of books available on the shelf, it hit a limit that meant it was no longer able to run for some players. We've therefore had to rewrite the code under the hood. While doing that, we've given it more of a convenient menu display to replace the previously lengthy list sets of chat boxes. When searching for items in the bank, the chat box will now also display a count of how many times have been found meeting the search criteria. This applies for mobile and desktop users too. Players can no longer harvest produce whilst running away from patches. The size of holy sandals on female characters has been increased. Pet General Greridor's inventory icon has been changed to make him look a bit less squashed. Derek's Great Axe no longer stretches whilst the Infernal Max cape is equipped. A spelling error within the Abyssal book has been fixed. The teleports between Lumbridge Shed and Xanaris now have Dead Man teleport delays to match the delays of the Fairy Ring network. The Steel Dragon Slayer assignment now respects the Dragon Slayer requirement added in last week's update. Turiel will remove such tasks from people who lack the requirement without applying a penalty. The warning on the bounty target teleport spell will now specify whether your target is in a single way or multi-way combat area. This is in addition to informing you what level of the wilderness they're in. Do remember that the spell puts you close to your target but does not guarantee that you'll land in the same kind of combat area, whether single single or multi, nor the same wilderness level. The PvP world Rhoda is switching to period B. World 404 Dead Man Seasonal has been removed. That was a lot to unpack. We got a crazy glitch and a lot of updates. Some mobile updates too. That doesn't matter for me because I have an iPhone. And I wish I had an Android. Who knows, maybe I'll buy a very cheap Android so I can play mobile. Anyway, that is gonna do it for this week's video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me why you enjoyed it. If you did not enjoy this video, give it a thumbs down and tell me why you didn't like it. Head on down to the comments and tell me if you were online when the glitch was happening. Did you get max cash? And did you get anything taken away during the rollback? If you guys like my content, feel free to hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you guys want to hang out with me in game, feel free to add me and also join Explosion's clan chat because I am in there 24/7. You can also find me on Instagram at Anions OSRS. You can find me on Twitter, which is also at Anions OSRS. And you can find me in Explosion's Discord, which I will have the link for that in the description below. I hope you have an amazing day, happy scaping, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace.